they're really small, and they crouch a lot as well, and they're really long as well. So it's just hard. Like in general, I always find it hard to be an animal on stage. I never feel like I just feel like I'm me, and then I'm just doing weird things on stage. I don't know. I think it's just personally to me. Um, yeah, I think it's just personally to me. Like I just don't feel like an animal on stage. I don't know if that came across to the audience as well, but yeah. So what else happened? Um, car crash. Probably like one of the funniest scenes I do there. Um, when um when we have to like slow motion do sorry slow motion do the move like the objects in slow motion. It's a bit hard because Gavin gave a note to Emily about how this is all slow, but the feet is going like really quick. Like her foot was literally like really quick, and then she was like really slow. It is hard because it's me, Rhiannon, yeah, me, Rhiannon, Emily, Rim, and Tanner doing it. So it's five of us. We all have to have different levels, and if someone's in front of you, you have to kind of move a bit further, move a bit back, and then you have to move quick because then you'll be hidden and you won't be able to see the object. So I understand why Emily did it because I probably did it at some point. It is hard, but yeah, no, we had to be careful. I feel like I did it on the first day, but not in the second day because I knew, like, I mentally prepared myself to have someone in front of me, so I did it even slower, and then I was shown that I was in the back, and you could see my object, and you could see my face, and you could see I was moving in slow motion. So that's like an improvement I did for show for the show day on. So the second show day that I messed up on the first day. Um, my Tommy the Hedgehog scene as well. Um, I'd messed up actually on the second day. Um, so basically, Badger feeds Tommy and Billy, which is me and Tom, and that's all nice. And then Rat tells me, "Where's Badger gone?" And I accidentally looked at her when she was back off stage. Obviously, you're not meant to because it's meant to look like she's actually gone somewhere instead of gone backstage. But I don't know. I think it's just a habit. I immediately just looked at her. I have no idea why I did it though. Um, I kind of played it off, and I was just like looking around because I'm meant to be a toddler, I think, or a baby hedgehog, um, who got lost on the way to school, and then we went to Badger's house because it was nearby, and he usually helps little animals, and so he gave us breakfast and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I just looked at Maddie off stage, and it kind of blew. I didn't mess the lines or anything, but it kind of just took me off, and I was like, why am I looking that way? It was just, I think it was just like a natural thing to do. I don't really know, but I don't think anyone noticed it. Also on day two, I kind of like took it a bit further because obviously on day one I just normally ate my porridge and stuff, but on day two because I'm a toddler and they probably eat messy if they're not getting fed, I kind of went like that and I pretended I spilled it everywhere. So I was just like wiping my face, going like that and stuff, making it look like I am actually not like old enough to feed myself. So then I gave like an impression that I'm meant to be young and stuff. So hopefully that looked better than I did on the first day and then the second day. Um, and then after that, I think it went to part two, I believe. Well, I wasn't on. Oh no, actually, the court scene was fine. Literally, the court scene is probably the most energetic. Everyone's on stage. Also, the Where's Toad bit, but that's part two. I'll speak to that in a minute. Um, in part one, the court scene is probably where I've seen the most energy out of everyone because everyone's just you could just see like a line straight down the middle of the contrast of the weasels, well, the wild wooders that want Toad to go to prison because they want to take over Toad Hall because he's rich and he doesn't deserve it. Um, and the riverbankers who love Toad and they want him to be free and they don't think it's fair that he's going to prison, all of this. You could see the divide because when Toad's being chased, our half is laughing and saying, get him, get him, get him, and then the other side is like, oh no, don't hurt him, la la la. You could see it, you could hear it as well. Like, it's just an amazing, like, it's like a top scene of mine throughout the whole show, because everyone's on stage and you could just see the contrast, and it's amazing. Yeah, so that bit was then. Yeah, I think now it's part 2. So part 2, what bit was I talking about? There's like a train driver scene. I wasn't like, oh, I could have done better, because I just didn't like that scene at all. So basically, this is the bit where Toad just gets out of jail, and then he runs into a train station kind of thing, and everyone's on the train, and he's trying to persuade the train driver that he's actually a woman, not a toad, and he needs to get somewhere. But yeah, it's me on my own, and then Thomas with Jasmine on their own, and then behind me is Rory, and then to my right, sorry, is Monica and Rupert, but it's Tanner and Leah, sorry. But yeah, like, I think it's because I was on my own. I just didn't know like what to do, because obviously Oriane, who's a train driver, with Rhea, who's Toad, has to have their own little line running stuff, and I'm just kind of sat there on the newspaper just reading it. I know you can't do anything, but I felt like I was so hopeless on there. I just felt like I wasn't even needed on there. I don't know, I just wasn't like, oh yay, the scene's coming, and I wasn't like, oh, I don't know, it was a weird one, and I felt like it was really like, I don't know, I just feel like I could have done better, but I don't know how. I don't know, it's kind of like them ones that you're like, oh, do it, but then, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. But yeah, and then what happened after that? Oh, this is my gypsy scene. Right, so I'll talk about it the first night. The first night for my gypsy scene, I was proud of it. I loved the gypsy scene. I feel like I could have taken more risks though, because I feel like I've said this many in my reflections and probably everywhere on my WordPress, that I can't do accents. I feel uncomfortable doing accents. I don't know, I just don't feel like accents are for me, and if I do an accent, I lose it halfway through, so I prefer not to have one. So for the gypsy, I thought of having like a soft, gentle voice, and a bit higher as well. I feel like I just didn't do it. The first night, I have no idea why, but I just went to like me. I felt like it was me on the stage. I think it happens to me a lot with my nerves. My nerves take over, and then I forget who I am. I forget what I'm saying. All of this, and I just go back to me. Like, I felt like it was me just wearing a costume and speaking to Rhea and Adam. Obviously, they were acting amazingly. Like, I couldn't have asked for better people to have that scene with. But personally, I felt myself. I just didn't. I literally felt myself. I didn't feel like I was a gypsy. Whereas the second night, I took risks. Instead of coming on walking normally, I did like a little sway dance kind of thing. I don't know if it was funny or if it was